So we are going to talk about RevOps because we are an international company, right, Colton? I don't know if you know. You are CEO of the company. You are paying employees in a lot of countries, and I think it's interesting to talk about because a lot of people is like right now. If you open your Substack, if you open your LinkedIn, a lot of people is like posting the 2026 bets, like what will happen with like AI, what will happen with like RevOps and this kind of stuff. And but like what about Brazil? What about like Europe? What about even like United States? I think would be interesting to talk a little bit like what is the biggest like 2026 bets, but like considering a little bit like not only United States but other parts of the world. Kote, what do you think about this?
Big bets like about like RevOps or like big bets like or more like
RevOps.
General big bets?
No, RevOps, but plus it's hard to disassociate like right now RevOps with like AI.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what do you think about this? What do you think about like I have one bet, but I would love to hear yours first. I don't know if you have one on top of your mind.
You go first, because I don't have one yet, and I'm trying to get an understanding of what kind of bets you want to hear.
I will tell you one. I think small companies, even like medium companies like size, they will start like pick like more like AI CRMs, because I feel like these companies they are a little bit like they don't want to go through these like onboarding process anymore. They want to go through like hey, integrating these things, like. So I think for SaaS companies or service companies especially, like HubSpot will have like some competitors in this market for 2026. Salesforce, they have a little bit more do like their goal of like helping like more complex type of business. I think they will not like face this challenge so much. But like for example, we can see in the 2025 this year, like Salesforce lose a lot of clients to HubSpot, and then like I feel like HubSpot may lose clients to Actio or Data.ai, like CRM, like native AI CRM companies, because people don't want to like go through onboarding process and this kind of stuff. Makes sense. What do you think about this?
I think it makes sense. Yeah, I think I've been watching a lot of stuff around between like China and the United States and how we're in this technology race with AI. But I think it definitely applies to what we know today, what is like top of the line like CRMs in this case, like HubSpot and Salesforce. But for like small businesses with like really unique use cases and they need to solve like a problem that's specifically to like their industry, like I can definitely see like CRMs that are just plug and play. You can turn it on and it will immediately like give that impact that you need, that like Salesforce and HubSpot can't really deliver right away because it's such a niche like need that you need. And I'll give you an example. Like I met this guy here in Reno who is definitely very intelligent and ahead of his industry that he's in. I think he's found an opportunity in that industry, and he's built, so his industry is, he has a property management company. He also is a broker, so he has salespeople and real estate, and he's also like a contractor. So he does like all three things. Like you don't really find that many companies doing it, but he's doing it, and he probably has anywhere from like 20 to 40 employees. And because he is in that industry, he knows the pain points. He's built a software solution. He just vibe coded it, Replit or Lovable. He built a custom solution for a CRM for brokers, specifically in commercial real estate, where they can just turn it on. AI will, and he's scraped the internet for all the contacts, like phone numbers, emails, and everything. It's already pre-built into the CRM, and it updates like using AI. I don't know how the hell he did it, but he did it. And it's a specific use case for brokers where all they have to do is jump onto the product, turn it on, and they have millions of contacts that they can dial. They can send out emails automatically, and it's a way cheaper solution, and it does everything that like a broker needs, and it doesn't need all the bells and whistles and stuff that like HubSpot and Salesforce has. So I definitely see that coming. And I think, just to go back to like the United States versus China, like I think Dharmesh at HubSpot, I think he realizes this. I think Salesforce, whoever the technology guy is at Salesforce, I don't even know, like I'm sure he knows like this is coming too, and it's a race. It's like a technology race too, because like I think everything that we're doing today, it's super manual in RevOps, and there's definitely going to be a time where I think where it becomes less manual, and our jobs are probably at risk, but I think it's hard to tell. It's too soon to tell right now, but we'll worry about that at a later time.
Yeah, I think so. About this, I think you said one interesting, like this example. It's super interesting because I see like people asking, like wondering, like what will happen with like note takers, because there's a lot of like note takers today, and they are offering like basically the same thing, and then like once you are using one note taker, it's hard to like change to other one. So I see that some discussions and people saying like, hey, the natural path, the natural like next step for these companies are like being more niche. So like for example, you are a doctor, and then like you have like like online appointment. You can bring your note taker specific for doctors, and then you will like running recaps, or running like even like more than recaps, but like super niche. And I see people saying like this will be like the next step for note taker, and maybe this is the next steps for CRM. Like if hey, like you have like retail, like you have like manufacturing, or you have like what is your industry, you have like a super specific CRM for this specific niche. Because I mean the core, everybody like more or less like all of them like offering the same thing, which is kind of the CRMs, like the customer relationship management, I believe, if I'm not wrong. But
I think that's what it stands for, yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is the only, and I will advocate in favor of my job. So I will tell you like I think AI will help building these CRMs, so they can be like you can implement this in a couple of hours and start working on. But I think like AI is so far of today in the CRM world to solve like things and give like extra like visibility. Even like the Salesforce and HubSpot with like Breeze AI and Salesforce with Agent AI, it's good like start point, but there's so many things to do. And maybe like 1 year we will see back at this recording and say, oh my god, like a lot of things happen. But yeah, I don't know what AI can do more than like optimize the onboarding and this kind of stuff, which is the boring piece of the job. But
yeah, I can see a world like with HubSpot or Salesforce where they use like AI agents to make it more easy to build the industry specific like use cases that are actually needed, so like you just feed it a prompt, and it would be as easy as feeding it a prompt and having it built for you to like compete with like where the technology is going. Like it has to. I think it already is. With like you can do a lot already, like in HubSpot, we're just prompting it. And I can see a world where you can prompt it to a point where it'll do what you need, and you won't have to waste hours and hours, hundreds of hours trying to build a custom solution that you need,
In my opinion, one of the things like HubSpot can do for AI, and even like Salesforce, is like they need to use like the AI for like reporting and this kind of stuff. I'm saying this like, so man, this like maybe we are developing, man, maybe someone would take our idea here and build like a CRM, So let's record this and publish it before it's too late. If you go to HubSpot now, you can use like the Breeze AI and ask some things, and then like Breeze AI will give us some type of visibility of your reports and data, which is great. But for example, growth rate is one of the things that it's kind of hard to define. I'm saying this because if you are watching this video, I was like a growth. I got the new Winning by Design course called like growth rate, growth architecture, and I see how difficult it is to kind of measure the growth and give like some kind of visibility based on the baseline. The do better and do a smarter way. You can use ChatGPT, you can use all this stuff, but like I never see this. I mean I don't know if CRM can do this today. I don't think so. It can do this today. And if the CRM can play a role where they can be more a strategic partner, man, using AI, then I lose my job.
Yeah. Yeah, like if it's just like open source, like with the course that you learned with growth architecture, yeah, if it was ChatGPT or whatever model, it could just pick up on whatever methodology you need to use. Yeah, I can see that happening. I definitely see things evolving quickly, and we're gonna have to pivot our professional careers. I think I wouldn't say probably in like, if I had to guess, like 5 years from now. I don't know.
5 years?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like, maybe that's too far, but I hope it's like 5 years. I need to figure it out. I need to adjust some things and.
But God, honestly, in my opinion, like CRM is. So this is interesting because like sometimes we don't see the human factor playing on this thing. So for example, I'll tell you, like, let's say we have like a CRM, this CRM for like a CRM specific for a niche, super niche or CRM, and like you may think, oh, there's no reason why someone would like not buy this, but there is. Because sometimes like people does it like, hey, I know like I can use like Actual or I can use like day.com really fast, start using my daily. But like sometimes like people, even like they are starting and they are like in this founder-led growth or like a sole entrepreneur stage, they want like have a more robust system since the beginning. So I think like I got like AI can give a lot of benefits, but like sometimes we overlook the human factor, like the human preference. Because like I see people, it's crazy. Okay, this is crazy because I see people saying on LinkedIn a couple of days ago that, hey, actually you don't need to see the customer attribution. You don't need to see, like you need to give up, because it's not linear. It's not like you waste a lot of time like measuring this, and there's no like a clear like ROI or clear like results from this. So yeah, give up.
It's damn near impossible. Yeah, for sure.
But like I mean, this is one type of preference, but there's other people they love to see like multi type of like attribution in place. So I think there's something of preference as well that plays a crucial role on these on these. It's not only like AI and the benefits of AI, but like how people they see their company in like short, medium, long term.
I don't see like enterprise or like mid-market companies moving as fast as like SMB, and that's why I'm hopeful. It's like we got 5 years. Because like things, to your point, like having the robust systems and more of like the security and like the assurance that like you are using the right software for your needs, like I think that's there. Like Salesforce and HubSpot are the name brands in the market, and I think there's a lot of security that comes by using those softwares. And I mean, honestly, they're in the best position as well, resource-wise, to be able to evolve their product and swallow up any other competitors, like the smaller guys that are building these custom solutions. It's interesting. Yeah.
And I think like the tendency, I think this like niche approach, I think I see this as a trend for like AI native soft like companies, because they need like they are offering like, to be honest, like a lot of people, like a lot of companies, they are offering exactly the same thing. Like note takers is one of these things. CRM maybe. Like I know we have like two big like players, but there's other ones like like one industry that I'm super curious to see a new thing will be the ERP system. Like who will like play and who will like try AI against like Oracle, for example. This will be interesting. This is like painful, and this is like I'm curious to see as well, because then we will see one example of preference and AI, because like most of these ERP, they are playing on like manufacturing industry, like super traditional, like well-established companies. And I feel sometimes like one of the things that AI can give you is like a pace. You can go faster with the AI, but I don't know. I'm not sure if the manufacturing company at this point they care about like going faster. Maybe they care more about like being more efficient, but I don't know if they are so concerned about like be ahead of competitor. I think it's just different things, and I would love to see something like this and see how the industry reacts to AI.
Yeah, industrial and like manufacturing industries is very interesting. I'm fascinated by where robots are gonna be. Like I think 2026, I don't know if you saw it, but like Tesla, I think they're launching like the Optimus robot in January. And it's interesting.
Did you buy it? Did you pre-order yours or not?
No, not yet. I'm going to though, for sure. Just so my wife can not complain about having to clean anything any longer. No, I think the manufacturing industry, it's very interesting, right? Like, I think that is directly where we're going to see, it already is, like robots are directly involved in the manufacturing of vehicles, of whatever you can think of. Like robots are already doing it, but I think to a point, to get them to be like autonomous or they operate on their own, like I think that's going to be a huge increase in efficiency in lowering the cost of doing business for manufacturing. And like for sure 100%, like I think the industry itself should be thinking about ERPs and how AI can be applied to those ERPs, whether it's Oracle or it's Odoo or whatever it may be. Like for sure that's where it's going, and I wouldn't see why not. Manufacturers are looking at that as a solution similar to like CRMs, right? So
like we are talking about like the actual AI native companies and how they born and how like they develop, but I think in my opinion like this will be like this AI and like niche thing will like expand how like companies they are actually planning to acquire other companies, how they are like private equity firms, they are planning to like developing companies. Because I think like as we go, I think they will try this niche type of strategy, because now we are so overwhelmed by like other like AI tools, AI companies, that at some point they need to niche. There's no like market for everybody. Like there's no, and I think it try to play more like like a long tail, a super long tail strategy. It's a big risk. Do the natural like AI risk, which is like you need to pay for like the infra
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure, yeah.
Infrastructure, yeah.
Even the people is like paying, even the people are using your software for free. So I think like it's a big risk, especially for small AI companies, and they need to like start playing this game in more careful way. I don't know, but of course it will like slow down a little bit. I don't think like next year like be so increasing the number of like AI companies every day. I think we will kind of slow down a little bit, and we will see the results of everything like people is doing this year, next year, even like for big players, you know. I don't know. I don't think like any AI company is too big to fail.
It's interesting, man. I more interested in like talking about infrastructure of like how we're able to maintain and keep up with AI because it demands so much energy. And so like here in the US, like we don't have enough energy. We're at an energy deficit, and to be able to keep up with the computing power and all the energy that AI is demanding, like we're nowhere near on track. And I've been keeping an eye on like what energy resources are emerging to keep all the demand up and being able to meet the demand from like the users of AI and all these new companies that are popping up to actually make it happen. And my mind just goes back to this race with China and the technology, because China is so far ahead. I think they can manufacture like 200 ships because they have such a good infrastructure of manufacturing in China. They can manufacture like 200 ships when we can only manufacture like one. I think that's the ratio. So that's like how far behind we are when it comes to like our infrastructure here in the United States, that like we need to figure out. And then the energy as well with China, like they're way ahead of us. They have a lot more energy than us. But yeah, like the only path forward I see like to keep this sustainable and energy is like nuclear. Like nuclear has to be the way because it's the cleanest, it's the most powerful, but it takes like 10 years to build a nuclear power plant. So like there's a huge problem that has to be solved for us, for you and I to be able to continue to enjoy this AI, and to like without all of that, like we won't be able to use any of it, you know. So it's really interesting. And then all the chips and the manufacturing, so there's gonna be bottlenecks along the way for us to actually enjoy this technology and this time that we're in. So it's gonna be interesting. There's a lot of unknowns.
There's a lot of unknowns, honestly. Yeah, I think so. And I think we are maybe now people understand better like what is the best like role that AI should play on everything. Because I mean, in the beginning of the year, like everybody was like, oh my god, like AI will replace us. And I think now we are like, people is like feeling overwhelmed. Like this overall feeling is like everybody's like overwhelmed by new things all the time. And I think now we are realize that okay, AI works here, yeah, it doesn't work there. It's like, and I can tell you like today, you know, most of the clients we are working on, they like AI. It's not like we don't talk about AI. We talk about AI like for enrichment, like contact. We talk about AI for more foundation things like a data cleanup. Hey, you don't need to spend like a lot of time in data cleanup because we can use AI. We can use AI for intent signals. We can use AI for a lot of this type of thing. But like in reality, I never see like SDR AI really well deploy. And people, I think Kyle from Kyle Polier, I don't know, Kyle. I think Kyle, he shared a blog where he asked like the top leaders of the tech industry if they are seeing like the results, the ROI from AI, and their answer is no. It's hard. Nobody knows like what is going on, and people doesn't think like it's so efficient. And this is the thing. This AI thing. We are overlooking two things. One is the behavior, as we talked about, because one of the most like effective channels even today is LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is like a social media, so people like having like a human human engagement. The second thing is, as you said, like do you have like, can we actually handle all of these things? Like, do we have like energy enough to handle all of these things? Like, I think this is this is the risk of AI. We may disconnect a little bit from the reality, from like what people is looking for, like what is the real problems, I would say, and or even not problems, but how people, how like everybody's prepared to approach the issues, the current issues from the AI perspective. I don't think most of the companies are prepared for this path yet. Maybe in 2026.
Yeah, well, the good news is, so far as we know it, humans like to buy from humans. And like, to your point, like, I think what we learned in the last year or 2 years is like an AI SDR like doesn't really work, you know. Like, if you're a B2B business, the human to human selling, it's more relevant now than ever, you know, especially with like marketing as well, like content. Like, I think we're smart and we can tell when something's authentic versus not being authentic. And I think we're thirsty for that authenticity, you know, as humans. And especially from like COVID, like you go all the way back to like COVID, like that missing like human connection, like I think we were thirsty for it. And then after COVID, AI was introduced and all this, and I think the human connection is more relevant now than ever, and I think it will increase even more and more in figuring out, like, as a salesperson, or if you're running a business, like figuring out how to be authentic and being able to connect with your audience in a human way. Like, I don't see that going away at all, you know. I think where AI comes in is like, it, to your point, like it helps like the back end automation of things where humans don't really need to be, you know. So like data enrichment, like all of that, like, is where we're seeing the solutions. And like an AI note taker, like I think I look at AI for it to enhance the way we operate as human beings, as like professional operators or salespeople or customer success, whatever role you're in, to enhance what you do, you know? So like, example, and like something that I definitely see in the future, and it's already happening, I think, is like using AI note takers for like customer success. I know we've talked about this, but using AI note takers to pick up on, there's this book called, I forget what it's called, but to pick up on like bespoke experiences, you know? So like as a CSM, like being able to look at all the conversations that this one customer had, and then be able to pick up and really form like a specific persona to who that person is, like where they go to eat on Friday nights, like being able to know them so well where you can create that bespoke experience to them where you can make them feel important and deliver that emotional impact to them. That, I think, just going back to like humans, like the authenticity, like we like to feel heard, we like to feel like we're heard, and like people like care about us and give us like personal things. So like if we could use an AI note taker to identify where my favorite restaurant is, and I go every Friday night, and I could just simply send like a gift card, and I could receive that gift card, so I could go there with my wife. Like, that's how like retention happens, right, with like customers. And I see it as an enhancement, at least for the next 2 years, 3 years. I don't see it replacing anybody, but enhancing humans, you know. So
yeah, for sure. I think especially for mid touch, probably, because like, let's say like low touch PLG, you know, naturally, like PLG should invest on product more than other things, because the product should let the growth should like be the main thing. And I think that then like we have a lot of opportunities for AI and building like growth loopings, and then like expanding and then retaining clients on PLG. So it's more clear how we can deploy AI and be effective when we talk about PLG motion. The problem is like sometimes people trying to deploy PLG motion, and this GTM motion doesn't fit with the actual product, and it's hard to sell the product in this type of way. I think for enterprise, everybody knows we work with a lot of clients who like that like runs like a dedicated like our high touch motion. They know like events, like even more like private juniors on this event, like it makes it's more effective than AI. They don't care about AI at all at this moment. They are happy to pay their sales reps a lot of money and commissions because they know it works. Now the challenge is mid-touch, traditional SaaS companies, like how they will approach this. I think this is the complexity. It's not so easy go and deploy AI, because I think you need to make the calculation of this and understand it. Like, okay, this makes sense with my product. My product can sell itself. Like, can you, or so this is the thing. I think the challenge here is not copy and paste things, because there are more things involved, and maybe not deploying AI right now will maybe your biggest competitive advanced competitive
advantage.
Advantage.
Yeah, I think it's being intentional and understanding your motion and how to apply that technology in the best use case. Like PLG, like the name of the game is the time it takes for a customer to receive that first impact when they sign up for that free subscription of whatever tool they're using. They want to see immediate impact. If they don't see that impact right away, like your churn rate is going to be flowing out the back door, and you won't have an operating business for very long, and it's heavily relied on product. But I agree, like AI can be applied in that PLG motion, where it doesn't need so much of the human intervention and touch, but it's more heavily reliant on the product itself and delivering that impact right away. And yeah, I think it's being intentional, just to my point, in understanding what you're running, what's working, and reflecting on that and being aware of it. So I'll wrap it up. Pedro, great conversation. Let's do it again.
Yeah, for sure. And if the AI took our jobs, then we can do like a podcast, having two AIs talking to each other and discussing how crazy will be if like the AIs lose the job and humans take the job of AIs, and what's the implications of this. It may be, maybe it's like a little bit Black Mirror, but yeah, maybe we are closer to this reality than we think.
Yeah, hey, I'm here for it. So if that's where we're going, I'm all for it. I'm gonna embrace it because there's no stopping.
Okay, see you next episode.
Thanks, man. Peace.
Peace.